there's a lot of twists and turns that we
Ooh.
have. We have a lot of roads we've gone down, and I'm telling you, when I was sitting there listening to some of the writers say something, I was like a fan, so like, oh my God, tell me more, tell me more, tell me more.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Emily Curl with iHeartRadio, and welcome back to my virtual studio here in New York City. Today we're joined by actress and singer, the one and only Jamie Lynn Spears. Hi Jamie Lynn, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, thanks for having me.
Of course, we have a lot to dive in and talk about, and we got to start with Zoey 101. So many people know you and love you from your show, and you recently just recreated the iconic Zoey 101 theme song, Follow Me. Where did you first get the idea you wanted to do something like this?
Well, as many people know, the fans have been begging for a reboot, and
For quite some time now.
yeah, it's been years, but
Yeah.
in 2020, it was really the year that I was having the conversations. My goal was to, at least get it into production, and we were having those conversations at the beginning of the year, and it looked like things were going to all happen. And then, of course, COVID came into this world, and we had much more important things that we all need to focus on as a society. So during quarantine, my manager and I were talking about how I could stay productive and stay working towards the goal. And she was like, look, why don't you work on the theme song and put it out? And at least that way you can give the fans a taste or a tease and a visual and a sound of what the new Zoey era is going to look like. Like, you can't have 2020 happen and not give them something. So that's where it was born, and we just ran with it, and it turned into what it is now. And I'm so happy with it. And I think the fans really loved it too.
Oh, I mean, I loved watching it. I want to talk about the video, but before, let's talk about the song for a second. It was originally co-written by your sister Brittany and now reimagined by Chantel Jeffries, which I was such a Chantel fan. I actually met her at BeautyCon a couple years back, which was really fun. How did that collaboration come about?
Well, we have like some working friends in common. And then when I was talking to my manager about bringing this song back, it wasn't like something that needed a complete rewrite. It just needed some tweaking here and there, but it definitely needed a new sound. And so we wanted like a DJ, and it's a very male dominated industry. So finding a female who is also in the age range of like knows what's going on in the Zoey world was Chantel. I mean, it was the perfect person to work with. So it just made sense. And then once we got on a Zoom call, because it was, at the height of the pandemic, we had chemistry immediately, and she was telling me stuff about Zoey that it was a perfect marriage. So I think that was what was important to me, is I did want it to be a female, and in that industry, she was the one that stood out to me, and it just made sense.
What stood out to her about Zoey 101 when you guys were like reminiscing on that? Did she have a special moment in mind?
She was like, I just always told my mom I wanted to go to boarding school. She's like, I thought everything was like PCA. And I was like, yeah, I know, me too. But like, that's not how boarding schools really are. So she was like, I just remember I wanted to go to PCA so badly. And I was like, yes, we all did.
We all did, of course. That's so funny. And now let's talk about the video. It's been 15 years, like you mentioned, since Zoey 101 premiered. And then the video to Follow Me releases, and we see the cast back together. Take me through that day on set. What was it like to walk on set that day and see all of the cast there?
It was like a weird alternate reality, because I had my daughter there, both my children were there, and she's 12. So she is the age of when I started shooting Zoey, 12, 13.
Wow.
And I saw her with my cast members, and then Chris had his little girl there at the age that I was when I started it, with the people I grew up with. It was just such a strange concept, but to be able to be back on set with the kids I grew up on, it was like coming home. I mean, these were the people that were a constant in my life and in that kind of environment for most of my childhood.
Wow, I mean, that's truly like a full circle moment. And I love, Maddie was there, right? That's your Maddie?
Yeah.
I love that. And now we also saw appearances in the video from Gigi Gorgeous, Jojo Siwa, Harry Jowsey, Charlie D'Amelio, or Dixie, sorry, D'Amelio, and your daughter, which was such a fun group of creators. How did you sort of bring all those people together? How did you decide?
Well, it was hard to even bring anyone together during, with the restrictions we had. And we wanted to, of course, follow those and respect and do everything that we were supposed to do. And that was challenging, because it was like, who's going to really want to come and, have to deal with all of this for no reason? And so it really was people who were fans of the show growing up. And we wanted to mix the two generations. Back when I was on Zoey, me and my cast were kind of, the people that 12 and 13-year-olds loved. And now this is this generation. This is who these kids love. I know my daughter's 12.
Was she just having the time of her life? Like, I can imagine.
I'm literally like, who does my kid like? So it was cool to be able to mix the two generations, because I think it's important going into this next Zoey era is to be able to have her make sense in today's world while still staying true to who she was, and to Zoey and to PCA and to the cast members. But, you know, they have to evolve, they have to grow. And I think that was cool to kind of bring both of those together.
Yeah, and talking about that Zoey growth, where do you anticipate this show picking up? Where would you like to see it?
Well, I'm so glad that we did this, because we gave the fans a little taste of what we wanted it to be like, you know, as far as like the overall vibe of it, you know, and they were very adamant about like they want some of that true PCA Zoey 101. So we, in the creative conversations, we kind of really said, hey, look, the fans want that OG Zoey, so we need to give that to him. So I think it's going to be very true to what the fans want, but also there's a lot of twists and turns that we have a lot of roads we've gone down. And I'm telling you, when I was sitting there listening to some of the writers say something, I was like a fan, so like, oh my God, tell me more. So I just think that it's going to have a lot of twists and turns, but it's going to be, we went a little bit more towards what the fans really wanted from this, which was the original Zoey stuff.
And so it's officially happening. Is there any sort of timeline that you guys are working with, or are you just kind of waiting to see?
Well, as you know, it's hard to get things, you know, like cleared and in production. It's a whole thing. So right now we're still, and obviously the holidays are coming up right now. So I'm hoping 2021 I'll be able to give a better timeline. But as of now, the creative has definitely been, I'm happy with where it's at. So
that is so exciting to hear. And you also you're acting in a new Netflix series. You're working on country music. What else can we look forward to in the future? You're staying busy right now.
Well, you know, these kids are expensive, gotta work. So, no, I'm just so fortunate to be able to first off have a job, but not only that, a job that I love to do. So any opportunity that I get, I'm excited about if it makes sense for me in my life. And I think I've gotten to a place where I'm personally very settled, which makes it a lot easier for me to go out there and work and do it in a way that I love. And I'm just really focused on doing Sweet Magnolias next year, getting Zoey out, and hopefully being able to give some music to them, so that way they get a little bit of Jamie Lynn as well, not just Zoey and Noreen. So it's like I want to be able to give them Jamie Lynn as well. Yeah,
well, we're excited for all of those things. Jamie Lynn, thank you so much for being here. Before we let you go, we actually have a couple quick rapid fire questions.
Okay.
All right, the best advice I ever received was?
I have received a lot of good advice, I would say, but I think the, you know, best advice that I would say is you've got to trust your gut, trust your instincts, and to be compassionate first. Always go with compassion first.
My first concert was?
My first concert was my sister's somewhere. I think it was my sister when she was opening up for NSYNC.
Do you remember, like, do you remember what city, or you were just like, do you remember being there?
I could be making this up, but I want to say it was maybe in Atlanta, and I'm sure I probably went to concerts before that, but like that's the first one like I remember being like, this is like a real concert, you know?
Wow, that's exciting. Jamie Lynn Spears, thank you so much for being here. We're so excited for all the projects, and thank you all for watching. Make sure to go stream Follow Me and watch the music video. It's so fire. Jamie Lynn, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to stream Follow Me, aka Zoey 101 on iHeartRadio, and you can watch the music video out now.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Did you like that video? You can check out more over here. And don't forget to subscribe to iHeart right here. And if you're already a longtime fan, make sure you ring the bell down below so you don't miss a single video. Bye guys.